All right, and welcome to What's Up Universe for Friday, August the 11th. We have kind of a nice segue here over the next few days as we come up to the new moon, which of course being the micro new moon, which means it is farthest away from the earth, but it's going to have a big impact in terms of our psychic abilities, our interactions with the unseen world. But to get us there, let's talk about what's upcoming over the days ahead. As I said, kind of feeling that not sure where I am in the scope of everything right now. And that is probably what you might be feeling as well. There's a real impacting energy right now that is really moving us towards what is the heart over the head. There's a lot of coherence taking place within the energetics, but there's also the letting go, the healing, the making space that is at play as well. We have some influences from Neptune that are not only looking to highlight our psychic abilities, but also revealing some of the undercurrent or what sits within the underbelly of the subconscious of what needs to heal, what we need to release, any of those troubling patterns or those belief systems that might be working in conflict with us. All of that's getting ironed out prior to the micro new moon taking place later on in the week. So here again, this is as I said, it's a day of kind of feeling the waft of a little bit of past and a little bit of future, and just trying to find your balance within all of that. So because it is a balance seeking day, such a great day for us to really find ways to ground inside our bodies, to be really connected and focused in terms of our day-to-day life. It's great, of course, to be interacting with all those beings, of higher consciousness and on the other side, but we look within today of just letting us be within the body, within our physical reality as much as we possibly can today. Because the invitations here are for us to take a higher perspective, for us to look at enacting upon some of the guidance, the solutions that we've been given. So there's a lot of incoming information, and we've been in that current, especially with that 8-8 portal that just took place. There's a lot of aha moments, a lot of motivation, a lot of potentials waiting to be realized. And now we've got some energies that are encouraging us to do some healing work, to eliminate any of the emotional stresses from our body, anything that needs to be resolved, that we really look at and acting upon that for ourselves. And again, it can also be, within the complexity of what a healing journey can look like. Sometimes it's just sitting and being still and holding your own heart and finding your breath and saying a prayer and resting as much as you possibly can. And even just through the intentional focus of doing that, you'll find that you will feel lighter. There'll be more an activation, so to speak, of something greater that begins to rise within you. So we're really looking at a current of energy for today that's really kind of taking us from what was and opening up to those possibilities. We set some really big intentions with that 8-8 energy. So now the universe doing its blessed help in helping us to clear out what no longer serves, so that we can fully embrace and we can move forward to what is looking to manifest. So again, just a day to really kind of be easy on yourself. Take, rest if you need to rest. Of course, do some beautiful meditation, but ensure that you're really feeling present and really feeling grounded in your state of life itself. And you're going to see that that's really going to be really cause to bring a big energetic lift to how you've been feeling. So that is for today. We're moving in. Of course, Saturn is currently in retrograde, which means Saturn being the planet of our purpose, why we're here. And it's really impacting us in terms of taking the action, the motivation energy, and really helping us to shine forward in terms of utilizing our gifts, talents, and abilities in this lifetime. So we're feeling that. Saturn puts on a little bit of pressure, but the invitations here are really about trusting that we've got this, trusting that we we are tuned in, tapped in, trusting we have purpose, trusting the guidance, trusting ourselves, all of that is coming into kind of a pull for us, or an invitation. So trust in trust that you're capable, trust that all is well, trust, that there is a solution to whatever problem is on the table. And of course, the invitation to be of always that spiritual responsibility. So Saturn's really pressuring us to really kind of move forward in it. So it's interesting because we do have the influences of, as I said, this energy of today, where it's just this big release and letting go of some of that dormant energy, what's been stuck, what we haven't been quite able to shake loose from our past, that is getting pulled up today. And of course, meeting the future here as well, where the motivation, the guidance, the inspiration for that action is taking place. Saturn is also influencing that as well. So it really is, again, really being conscientious, being so present in terms of what we're intending, and being careful to not fall into fear-based associations, whether that be fear of other people's opinions, fear of the dark energy, fear of, the whole world going to hell in a handbasket, whatever that is for you. Really moving back into that place of centeredness, of faith, and trusting in what is looking to unfold. And again, there's more and more light that's looking to be expressed through us. So we want to do everything we possibly can to, shake through what no longer serves, to raise our vibrations, to hold that space, and to hold that love and that light. So there's a lot of energies here, but more importantly, really in the invitations, listen to the guidance, trust yourself, allow yourself to move forward with a deeper sense of faith and trust that all is well. That's really a big, and again, taking that responsibility, and that spiritual responsibility, the spiritual responsibility for our actions, how we're showing up, the thoughts that we're having, the energy around us. All of that is inclusive in terms of where these invitations lie. So whatever we can do to be able to navigate this energy in terms of a way of working with it, aligning, and doing our best to show up, and take action where action is necessary for us, and to rest one time in a time of rest. It really is that ebb and that flow. And we're feeling, as I said, today and the incoming energies of tomorrow, it's all about ebb and flow. It's moving us into, again, providing us with greater influential energy in terms of what is in alignment with our heart's greatest desires. So it's really getting us, of course, out of the ego state of mind, out of the ideals that we might have imprinted or concluded for ourselves, and moving into more heart-centered, heart-based, and following what feels right, best, and true, really honoring, regardless of the patterns, regardless of the people, regardless of what we've done in the past or what the mind believes is possible. This is falling deep into the heart, and being very recognizing, of course, our self-worth, and recognizing the power and potential that lies inside of all of us. So we have a real opportunity here over these next few days. Again, the mind is going to be hypercritical. It's going to be full of doubt. There's going to be a lot of fear. So grab hold of those thoughts, grab hold of that mindset, and bring it back into the heart, so that you can just be an observer. You can just kind of move into a place, again, deeper sense of faith, of trust, and changing the conversation, because that conversation is so potent right now in terms of these influences of energy, in terms of what's going to manifest, what we're putting out into the universe. So we have greater responsibility here over peak energy times like this, to recognize that we are worthy, to recognize all things are possible, to recognize that there are these benevolent and beloved beings of support and of light that are wanting us to make good on our sacred promise, the sacred promise of why we're here, why it is that we've chosen to be mediums in this lifetime. So there's just, having us really enact upon a way that's very conscientious, very attentive, and very focused to what is true. But again, it's out of the head and into the heart. So you're going to find that as we move into this next week in preparation, so to speak, for the micro moon. It's a really, again, we want to keep that ebb and flow happening. We want to rest when we need to rest. We want to take action when when the invitation is there. So we need to slow down. We need to center ourselves. We need to meditate. We need to be mindful. We need to practice our gratitude. We need to do our space and energy clearings. It'd be really beneficial to do some chakra alignments as well. Anything that is going to help to strengthen the vibration and to strengthen, that alignment between the head and the heart, and the alignment in terms of what is the deeper sense of truth or the divine self inside of us, to that higher self. So whatever we can do, because it's going to really help in terms of I would say when the floodgates open up, so to speak, with the moon and with the and what is looking to make manifest. So we need to be very conscientious and very clear in our minds and our thoughts and our hearts and in our energy of what we're putting out into the world and what we're, and how we're showing up. That greater responsibility. It's not about the energy that's out there. It's about the energy that's in here that becomes really, really important over these next few days. So you could really feel pushed to make change in your life, pushed to maybe, again, if there is, whether it's around your health and your diet and your exercise, your nutrition, really that could come into focus. Whether it's about a relationship, whether it's about where you are physically living, like whatever changes have been kind of stirring within you, they're really going to be amplified in such a way it's going to get uncomfortable. So all those ideas and those plans and everything that you were hoping for, you're praying for, you wish you could do one day, you're really going to feel that it's going to be like almost like a little bit of a pressure cooker as we come into this week of energy. So again, it can cause a little bit of anxiousness in terms of not only our own self, of what we're looking to create, to be, do, and have in our life, but also anxiousness because there is an increase of awareness to the non-physical world. Because with the micro new moon coming up, that's where the moon is the farthest away from the earth. But what happens with this, it is also when our psychic abilities, our connection to the unseen realms, everything gets basically tuned on. It's a major influencer in terms of us as mediums, and really we're helping us to not only be connected, but to receive the messages, to fall into path, into purpose, and to take action in terms of why is it that we're here? What does our soul come to do in this lifetime? We're going to be asked to apply ourselves in a way that not only aligns in terms of what we look for our vision and for our future, but also in terms of honoring that sacred promise that each of us have made for this lifetime. So because of this, with this again, there is, anything we can do to focus on connecting to those spiritual dimensions is going to be very helpful as well. So in the mix of all of this other energy that we're interplaying with right now, this is also a really good time to sit down, to listen to the guidance, to do the automatic writing, to meditate, to honor the messages that are coming through, and beginning to, again, enact upon those changes, those invitations where your guides, your angels, your loved ones on the other side are looking to help you fulfill that sacred promise. So anything we can do to give way for that connection to the invisible realms right now is going to be very, very important. It's going to be I do this on a daily. So for me, it's like, I can't imagine living my life without that connection, without that information coming, without the guidance, without the support, without the encouragement, without the love. I can't imagine doing that. But there is right now there's an inward pull, this inward asking us to go in, for us to listen, for us to take action, for us to really open and allow for the our psychic, our healing abilities, our desire to help other people really be brought forward into the present for us. We could say this is almost like it's a time to give birth to all of this, and where the influences are, it's like if we can allow ourselves or give ourselves permission to begin to open up, to take the action, to follow the sage advice of, the unseen realms, to honor the call, and go beyond the fear, and go beyond other people's opinions, and go beyond what we may be acceptable within society. Our willingness to go beyond is the very thing that is going to uplift. It's where the prayers get answered. It's where the energy flows for us to be living and experiencing life in terms of a greater depth and greater meaning, but very purposeful. And so this is really, when we look at anything we can do to help to support that connection to the unseen realms, is not just important, I would say it's really necessary. So because of it being such an influencer right now, let's take a look at ritual. Let's take a look at our routines every day. That becomes a big part of it as well. What are your non-negotiables? What are the very things that help you to feel connected, to light you up, that give you a sense of purpose every single day? What are the very things that you need to be doing for yourself that maybe you've neglected, you've put off, you've avoided, or maybe you've denied in some way? All of that, it's like the invitations for us to come home to who we are, for us to follow the guidance, for us to open up, to receive, and to get out in the world and do the thing those things or that we've been denying ourselves. All of those, that future and that this purpose-oriented way of living is really amplified over this next week. So anything we need right now, we're shaking off the dust, we're shaking off the things that are getting in the way. What do we need to release? What do we need to let go of? And then, of course, there are, major decisions, so to speak, that are being invited for us to take a look at. Again, anything that's invoking the change of, if we're looking to move, the change in a relationship, the change in the work we're doing, the change in our health, the change in our finances, everything is coming to a head, so to speak. And so it's really important that we take opportunity to not only stop and consider what's going on, but more important, to really take a bold step forward to our highest vision, our highest choice for this lifetime. And of course, once we make the decision, the universe takes over from there. And you've heard me say this before, there's a distinct difference between there being a willingness to serve, or a willingness to do readings, or a willingness to do this work in this lifetime. Willingness is the first point. We need to be willing to do the development. We need to be willing to, tell a few people about what we do. We need to be willing, even for spirit, to really come forward, or to bring the people forward to us for the readings or for the healings, etc. So that willingness really is what creates a pathway or an opening that says, I am willing to be of service. See me, or it's not even see me, but it's more like the light begins to shine a little brighter inside of all of us when we're willing. However, something very distinctly different happens when we make the decision to do this. The decision now moves into commitment. The decision moves into accountability. The decision moves us into responsibility. The decision to do everything is really what rests on our shoulders. So where we are looking at these daily practices, these routines, how we're showing up, the energy in recognizing the energy influences and taking that responsibility, all of that is part of the decision to be of service, where we're no longer sitting with our spiritual ideals on the shelf, or just dabbling in on the weekends, or dabbling once in a while, but it becomes our way of living and breathing and being. And that is the distinct difference. Willingness says, I'm a medium, and I check in with my guides and angels every once in a while. I have some spiritual practices, but I don't follow them on a regular basis. Whereas the decision to do it, the decision says, these are my non-negotiables. These are the things I know I need to do every single day in order to feel good, to be at my energetic best, to really honor myself as a medium and honor my connection to the other side. I'm listening and I'm following. I'm listening and I'm trusting. I'm listening and I'm shutting out the outside world from disturbing what I know is most in alignment, right, and true and best for me. So this is really the influences of this energy. As I said, Neptune is releasing and bringing up some of this stuff that we need to purge and to let go of, but it's more importantly, it's helping us to utilize our psychic, mediumistic abilities, our empathic abilities, our natural healing abilities, everything that we've accumulated from every other lifetime that sits in the Akashic is looking to come forward. And so we can either reject it and deny and basically continue to suffer and continue to be in strife and continue to struggle, or we can embrace our skills, embrace who we are, and through that have really begin to manifest and allow ourselves to have a greater capacity or a greater influence of love in this lifetime. And that responsibility lies in me, and that lies in you, and that lies in all of us. So this is the day to balance and align for the energy flow. We are in preparation for this micro new moon that's basically putting everything that sits in our heart, that is a calling of purpose, that is influencing us to upshift our life. Everything is on the table. It's up to us to choose where we go from here.